Okay, guys, this little tutorial should carry you through until the due date for Shape, which is Friday. I'd imagine most of you will finish this prior to that, so I'll keep monitoring this, and if we have an opportunity to move forward into the next element, we will. But I apologize for not being in class today, which in your case today will be Tuesday the 15th. I had to stay home today to take care of my kids, so hopefully this will you'll be able to move on without a hitch here. So we're going to do the elements of art shape. You should have already gone through the slideshow that I've given you and answered the question. Again, I will be taking attendance based upon that, your answering of that question. If you don't answer the question and submit the Google form, I will mark you absent. I have no choice. That's the way this asynchronous work thing goes. So without any further ado, elements of art shape. So all those lines, right, the lines that we created, and this is my first period creation, but this applies also first, second period, and sixth period. So if you're in those periods, just hang with me. If you look at this and go, well, I haven't seen this before, well, this is the one I created for first period as far as the demonstration goes. So we have all these lines. I've kept this top left quadrant empty. All we're going to do is create shapes from these lines. So what is a shape? Well, a shape is basically an enclosed shape. So if I take any of these and create another set of lines and enclose it, so we have this sort of encapsulated area, that would be considered a shape. So in the directions, it's very simple. Create a shape out of each line using whatever tool necessary. So I'm going to use the brush tool with a width of 5 and black and a softness or hardness of 80%. I can use a line tool with the same settings that we've used before. And I'm going to create a bunch of different shapes using the base shapes here. So I'm going to do that very quickly. One thing you have to understand is that you need to be in the excuse me, in the correct layer to do this, to add to it. So make sure you're paying attention to your layers window when we start doing that. So I'm going to start at the bottom, which was the first line we created, which is my horizontal line. I'm going to hit Z to get my zoom tool, and I'm going to move it over here, and I'm going to get my brush. So I hit B for brush. I have my brush. It's black. Let's see what size we're at. I don't want 15. Remember, we want 5. And we also want 80% hardness. So I'm going to click up in the void out here. I have the correct size brush. And I'm going to be very careful. For this one, I'm going to make sort of a different move than I did before. I'm going to left click. And as I go up, I'm going to hold shift. And then I'm going to do it again. Hold down shift and go over. And then I'm going to hold down shift and go up. And then I'm going to do the same thing going to the right. I don't like that, how that little knob was sticking up there because I moved my brush. And then I'm going to come back down, hold down shift. I'm going to get it close to where this ended up. And for this one, it gets a little tricky because I don't know where I want to stop. You can sort of eyeball it here, but I'm actually going to grab a guide and pull it out to the very edge of that shape. And then I'm going to get my brush again, and it changed to pencil when I hit B. So let's make sure I have my brush selected. There we go. I'm going to go to the very bottom, left click, and hold down shift until I get to the very edge. And you have to sort of go slow. That looks good. It went a little over, but that's okay. Then I'm going to go straight down, and I'm going to complete that shape. So I'm going to zoom out, and that's the end of shape 1. Again, I was on horizontal line. That created that shape for that. Now I'm going to move to vertical line. And again, I can do whatever I want with my vertical line. You can use, just for another example, we can grab the pen tool again. Make sure our fill is blocked out. Our stroke is black. And our width is 5 pixels. And I'm going to go directly here, up top, boom. And I don't have to keep them straight, right? I mean, I can do basically whatever I want, but I can tell you, you're going to want to keep it fairly simple. So I'm just going to do something like that. And again, these shapes are totally up to you. I want a little bit of variety in your work, so I want everybody to do something a little bit differently. So that would be shape. Since I created a shape, we'll talk more about that in the future. I'm going to leave it right there, but just know that that's going to be a part of the vertical line group. I'm going to skip diagonal. You can create whatever shape you want there. I'm going to go into my jagged line now, and I'm going to create something very simple to go along with my jagged line. Again, I'm going to get my pen tool, and I'm going to click on the beginning there. I'm going to go down here, left click, and drag to create an arc, and then I'm going to go up here to complete it. Oh man, it added to it. Yeah, don't do that. And once I do that, because it's a little bit weird, if I go get my direct select tool, we can actually move these anchor points. I can click on it and I can move it up and alter these. You can do that with any of these anchor points that you selected. If you want to play around and create a different shape, we can do it that way. And then I'm going to zoom out, double click there, zoom out again. So same thing with your curve line. You can create a shape, something that goes up and over here. You can make something jagged down there. Just don't go too crazy. Keep things simple. And in the end, by Friday, at least by Friday, you guys should have 5 shapes ready to turn into forms. So email me if you have any questions. I am available, and I will do my best to help you when I can. All right. That's it.